Man, do the song. I was making a joke. And as far as cats and dogs go, hell, you want to get down to it, I'll break out and throw down my 13-year-old blue nose pit or my 11-year-old Ridgeback. Both of them vicious, mean dogs. And I've had them for over 10 years. No, dogs aren't better pets. The owner determines how the pet acts. Pets I found throughout my time dealing with people and pets emulate the owner's personality. So, hey, what's up? And by the way, hello, everybody. Nickel, Hong, Wealth, everybody. But yeah, so like I've had all kinds of animals throughout my lifetime, from snakes, exotic birds, skunks, uh, shit. What's some other weird ones I've had? Tigers, uh, dogs, cats. Yeah, no, dogs, cats, birds. Never had a monkey, skunk, snake. Yeah, had a plethora of exotic animals in my lifetime, all given to me to humanize by a friend of mine that owned the exotic pet store. They'd ship the pets in, and those of them, the pets that were not humanized, I got and I humanized them. I made a, I befriended them and got them used to being around humans and interacting with humans. So basically, I was the first. Yeah, in different states, you can own a monkey, you can own a tiger, you can own a lion, you can own an elephant, you can own anything. Just depends on what state you're in. Although I am an advocate for people not owning tigers and lions because, quite frankly, uh, just like the economy now, everyone owns a tiger and lion. The first thing they're going to forsake and not feed is that tiger and that lion when they lose their money. So these rich people that get, opulent and spend money, oh, I'm rich, blah, 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 and they get themselves an exotic wild cat, and then all of a sudden they don't have that much money left. That cat's in the dirt. They're going to forget about that cat. I've seen lots of pictures of starving freaking cats at people's houses, and I'm talking lions and tigers because they can't afford the $50 or $60 of meat a day that those things eat. So I'm not an advocate. I'm not an advocate of people owning them. Only larger institutions that can actually afford the proper care for such an animal. How's that? Yeah, that cats pretty much take care of themselves. So do dogs, actually. It's all in the training. I had four dogs. I had to put two down at the beginning of the year, and I still had neighbors. I've lived here for 7 years. With it was a red nose, a blue nose, a ridgeback, and a mutt. And I had people saying, "Fuck, Neil, I didn't know you had any dogs. I didn't hear them bark." And they were all rescues from bad homes. But the way I trained them, they didn't bark unless there's something to bark at. So you never knew I had any dogs. And the fact that they were rescues shows, and they came from bad. As a matter of fact, the red nose was a bait dog. It's all in the human. If you can work with the animal, you know, it's the matter of the human is basically what it is. If you can't work with the animal, you're the problem. Because animals are real. They don't lie, cheat, steal. They don't fucking fuck with your emotions. They don't bullshit. So if you can't work with it, you've got a problem, and it's not that animal's problem. It's an internal problem with yourself, and it would best behoove yourself to fix it or find out what it is to fix it, so you can live a happier life in coherence and in semblance with the universe. because it's all sounds, frequencies, and vibrations. Yes, cats can fetch balls. It's just no one takes time to train them. I've got, as a matter of fact, Ginger. It's not a ball. It's a little fake mouse. I throw it. She gets it, brings it back so I can throw it. That's playing fetch with a cat. So all of those things you're saying, Nickel, is all from lazy people who are unknowledgeable, who come up with the conclusions because of their lack of interest in the animal, or more importantly, their lack of understanding that the animal doesn't understand English. And you have to communicate with the animal in its language that it understands. And that requires you learning how to do that and wanting to do that so you communicate properly, so you can properly tell or inform the animal of what you want it to do. And people just don't have the time, patience, or intellect to do it. So, I mean, I got this guy here trained. He sleeps on my neck. I'm training him young. This guy and the white guy, I give baths. I'm training him to like water. Yes, cats to like water. It's all training. So, if you can't deal with an animal, it's because you're impatient, you're not knowledgeable, you're not accepting. The problem is with you, not the animal. Because animals are what they are. Humans are the equation that's always shaky because we have feelings, they're more important than facts. And animals only have facts. So we communicate on a different level. So you got to be able to communicate on the animal's level. That's how I became a tiger trainer. I can communicate with them. I can understand their language and what it is they're trying to communicate. I don't know how I do it. I know how to do it. Hey, what's up, Mike? Oh, well, my kitty cats never get lonely. There's 7 of them. And I try not to leave them alone, but yeah, you can do that. Yeah, it all depends on how you train the animal. You can train a bird. You can train hawks. You can train monkeys. You can train cats. You can train dogs. You can train dolphins. You can train other kinds of fish too. You just got to take the time. Happy Thanksgiving to all of my wonderful subscribers. I hope each and every one of you had a lot to eat and had a great time eating it. I myself, hold on a second. Happy Thanksgiving. It's a cheeseburger. I got 2 cheeseburgers and fries from this place called Nation's Giants. They're running a good deal. Usually it's $10 or like $9.89 for one of their cheeseburgers. I mean, they're thick. They're thick. They're not those thin ass ones you get at these fast food places. And so you usually get a big cheeseburger. It's like $9.89. But this week they started giving away a free thing of fries. So you get fries and a burger for like $10. So I got 2 of them. Oh yeah, cats also train you. There's a old friend of mine. He has an autistic daughter. This is funny as shit. It's all psychology, dudes. There was this master of psychology. My friend's he graduated magna cum laude of MIT's, so he's got some intellectually intelligent people friends, and one of them's a psychology major. And his daughter Lila, she's like 26. She got the mentality of it like a 3-year-old. That girl outsmarted that psychology major, and James and I were watching it. And James even told her how Lila was going to outsmart her. And the lady was like, "Oh hell no! I've got my psychology major, man. I got 8 years of college. This chick ain't going to do that to me, right?" So she was hanging out. Oh hey, look, there's Dixie. I didn't even see her up there. So she was hanging out, and what Lila would do is she'd come sit on the couch with you when you're watching TV, and it would take her about 15 minutes, and you'd be off that couch, and you wouldn't even realize it till you're on the floor that she took over the whole couch because she did it slowly and methodically. little moves that inched her way over. And you wouldn't, and she would wait. This girl is so smart, as an autistic girl, couldn't communicate, nothing like this, doesn't know how to control herself or anything, but she's so smart that she could manipulate a psychology major and get the psychology major to sit down on the floor before she realized she had been manipulated by an autistic girl. And James and I just started busting up laughing and said, see, we told you. We told you Lila would do it. She does it to us all the time. And we know she's doing it to us. That's how stupid we are and how smart she is. But she's autistic. So she's good at that one thing. Really, really, really good at it. But only that one thing. And it's manipulating people in certain circumstances. It's crazy. It's wild what people can do. Yeah, some of them are calculators, like the Rain Man scenario and stuff. With always everything, life is a balance. You've got, and it's going to balance out. And this is why we can never replicate life, because we don't know how it's going to balance out. You lose one part of your brain, let's say autism or something like that. You lose the ability to function in some sort of way or something. It's made up in another way, to where you always have the same amount of energy or fuel in your tank to do whatever it is that needs to be done. It's just a matter of how it's firing. Bad analogy. I give it to you. That it is a bad analogy, but there's always a balance. There's a give and take. Your autistic kids have shit that some of them are artistic as freaking hell. I could just like, as they're going back, and draw a freaking Picasso, which is easy because Picasso sucks in my opinion. But okay, Nickel, you're making it too easy for me to pick on you, so I'm going to leave that one alone because I like you. 30-year iron worker raised by Navy guys, so I have some smart-ass remarks. Watch yourself. Yeah, she's in the nosebleed seats. Well, she's in the nosebleed section. Hey, I need to put some milk in my tea before I start drinking it. Give me 15 seconds or less. Okay, I fibbed. It was 22 seconds. My bad. So I take it none of us had anything better to do on Thanksgiving. I know I don't. Yeah, milk and tea. If you're not Scottish, you don't drink milk and tea. If you're Scottish or Highlander, you'll have milk and tea, and there's nothing to be done about it. It's not tea without milk. The one thing I'm missing is my crumpets. I need my tea and crumpets, lad. Oh, I love that line from, I always think of this line. Was it Mikey Myers' Gold Member or something like that he did the movie on with little mini me of, hold on, Dr. Evil. And they had that big fat Scottish guy. Get in my belly. I'm hungry and I'm not going to eat you. I always think of that line. It's funny. It's your perspective. You must be Irish. They're always wrong. You like that line, Mike? I always think of that. Mike Myers did a good job when he did that fat Scottish guy. Get in my belly. I'm going to eat you. I'm hungry. And little mini-me's eyes would... He'd look at Mike Myers and go, boss. Like, what's his name? Well, that's your problem. I ain't going to hold it against you, though, Nick. I still like you. I mean, you don't have to be Irish or Scottish for me to like you. It helps. I'm just kidding. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm actually on my Scottish side, on my mom's side, the Sutherland family, kind of bred with other Scottish, and they're all from like back to like the 10th, 11th century. The Sutherlands came from a town in Norway. My brother did a genealogical search, and it went back as far as like 1070 back in Norway. And that was my mom's side. Believe it or not, my dad's side, his father immigrated over here with his family right between World War I and World War II. And my father was the first one born here from Germany. But the German side actually goes from Germany to Mongolia, because the name Han actually used to be, now it's H-A-H-N, used to be H-A-N, because way back when Genghis Khan did his raid across Europe, and he got stopped at the Black Mountains in Germany, and then he had to go back to wherever, and then he died, and then you don't hear any stories about his army. Well, it was left in Germany and Europe, and they integrated with the locals. So my dad, German side, it originally is Mongolian. Imagine that. Mongolian, Norwegian. Yeah. What a fucking mix. Yeah, they went that way too. He had a big army, dude. He didn't go just one direction. That motherfucker took over everything while he was alive, and then he died. And, well, when he died, he just left his soldiers there. Kind of like what, and here's the thing I don't understand about slavery. There was 40,000 Hessians hired as mercenaries, brought over to America, and then the guy said he's not going to pay them, and he left them here. 40,000 fighting men back in the 1700s, brought to a foreign country on a foreign continent on the other side of the world, and then told, find your own fucking way home. Really? Wow. That's not like fucking slavery. Take a man away from his wife and house and hire him as a mercenary, say, hey, you got a two-way trip, whatever, and then cut his deal and say, no, you ain't get a two-way trip. It was a one-way trip. Screw up, and I'm not paying you. Yeah, history's a wonderful thing. I don't know. I can't look back there. Even though I have that disease, no acetol. Only 5? Holy cow. Man, we're fucking kicking it tonight. That's 5 lonely people. Where do they all come from? Beatles, sorry. To all the lonely people. I texted fucking, what's his name? Constitutional. That son of a bitch should be showing up, but no, he's probably working. It is Thanksgiving. No, I guess they'd be closed. I guess restaurants would be open on Thanksgiving. He's probably working. Yep. I texted his ass and he ain't showing up. I had the perfect song ready for him. I like that one, Wealth of Nation. I'm a Haitian with aggression. I had the perfect song for fucking set up for Constitutional shows up. Let's hoping he showed up. She wants to be lonely without you. No, man. There's no truer saying than absence makes the heart grow fonder. Look at that. My 2 girls. I got Dixie and Ginger. You can tell by the red. She's even got red in her tail. Right there. When she turns around, you see it. Look at Dixie fucking with her. She made her jump down. Yeah. I got screwed out of getting married. I was engaged to a Catholic girl. Ooh, she was hot, man. About 5'6", 5'5", maybe even 5'4". Long black curly hair, gorgeous. Her family found out I wasn't Catholic and they forbade her from seeing me. So I was like, is that how you're gonna play it then? But she's got some from cool. Everybody can. Yeah, well, Nickel, that's why I'm single. My grandfather's family had it right. They and again, go back to Scottish. You have the Protestants and the Catholics. What are they called? They're called the the red coats and the not red coats. There was a feud in Scotland lasted for generations between the Protestants and the Catholics, and I forgot the name of the two groups. Yeah, she's in there right now causing hell, Wealth. Indeed, Nickel, I will never have that problem. I have other problems. This is one of them. See, I trained him to be up here. He's just spinning his head. What are you looking at, little one? His little brother's running around and around my feet. And that's why his head's spinning around. Very content young man. I'm surprised there's 5 people that showed up tonight. I wasn't expecting that many people. I actually, the past 3 nights, I've ran across my little buddy outside, Pepe Le Pew. I have a healthy skunk that's from in the neighborhood. You want to get down and play with your brother? Here. That's his little brother right there causing hell. Actually, I should get rid of this light, huh? That's a little better, huh? Well, that's why I went live, because I figured, you know what? I can't be the only one that doesn't have any family or anywhere to go tonight. There's got to be other people, so let the lonely people come together. Strength in loneliness. Except for Wealth. Wealth's married. Good job, brother. And I appreciate you showing up, because you do actually have a family. Yeah, and another thing, it was exactly that. I know everyone most people who do live streams and have shows have families. So they're not going to be doing one tonight. And I was like, hey, let's give the multitude of 400,000 people out there, or excuse me, 4 people out there, someone to make fun of. So I said, fuck, I volunteer. And here I am. Voila. One day I might learn a magic trick. I doubt it. I also got this blanket here. It's $5 at the Grocery Outlet. It's a hell of a deal. I've had 3 cats up there sleeping. And then I got these kick-ass books. They're actually badass books. I know you can't read them. And yes, this is leather. Embroidered leather. Fucking badass books about the history of America. This one's about the Mexican War. So I imagine that would probably be Santa Anna. Yeah, see, it's the Old West series from Time Life Books. And of course, I got them covered up so the cats can't get them dirty or clawed up. Dude, the ironworking gig was awesome. I so enjoy leaving something there that wasn't there when I got there, and knowing that it's going to be there for a long time, and knowing that it's in Santa Cruz, right off of the freaking highway. Everyone's going to see it who drives by. It's a self pride. It was supposed to be a 5-day job, But because I'm such an awesome iron worker, I got it done in 2 days. And they had me come down Wednesday and, just to get my paycheck and fuck off and pay me for 8 hours because they were so grateful I got the job done in 20 hours instead of 50 hours. Crew of 5 guys. So, as usual, any job I'm on, no less than 30% of the hours bid on that job, unless they fucked up the bid, will be turned back in as extra profit margin for that company, and I always get laid off. But that's just exactly. Yes, Nickel, I view things differently than other people because the way I see it is if the union companies don't make money, the union men don't get hired. So that's the way I look at it. I'm an actual real man in the union, not a piece of shit that just hangs around and milks every job and makes everyone look bad. I do a better job than anyone out there. I was called King Decker because when I did metal decking for high-rise buildings in San Francisco, I got so good at it when Hawaii, the state of Hawaii, needed a decker because they did for 25 years. They gave up metal and steel buildings and went only concrete. And then they switched up again and started doing metal. They had no clue how to do decking. So they called the West Coast. They said, hey, we need your best fucking decker. You know who they called? Neil. That's why I was in Hawaii in 2019. The International called me up and said, Neil, we need someone to teach these freaking Hawaiians how to do iron, and the way it works over there is a little different. And they got a couple other homies on the West Coast, and we went over there and did the job for them and show those Hawaiians how to do iron. And because we're the best of the best of the best, baby. Yeah, 55, man. That motherfucker's still. Oh, look at that. I still climb. I run up the columns. be like Sylvester the cat, and I just bing. Yeah, 3 weeks. They paid for it, man. The house we stayed in was $8,000 a week. So I got paid to stay in a $24,000 rental. And I got paid on top of staying at that $24,000 rental. It had a jacuzzi. It had it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. Man, the second week there, they were so elated with us that we went to a country club, and the governor of Hawaii was introduced to me and the other ironworkers. I had lunch with the governor of Hawaii in December 2019. Yeah, I'm a little bit more special than most people. I also had the cook that ran it was a private golf club that we went to to have they celebrated the first crew coming in from America, mainland, to bring them in iron and show them how to work iron so they could. Right now, you go to Hawaii, you'll see everyone working iron. You tell them, hey, who taught you? They'll say, King Howley Howley. King Howley Howley. Neil Hahn. Yeah, baby. But anyhow, back to the story. The chef that owned the restaurant at this country club every night cooked for me. He was the head sushi chef of the island for 3 weeks. They treated me like Han's Dynasty, an emperor. That's why I got the name Han's Dynasty. Ain't no shit. I get treated good when I go places, man. What's up, Finn? Yeah, no, I rock the boat, baby. Yes, well, it was Oahu. Union 625, the Pearson brothers, they actually wanted me to take over and run their union for them. And I was like, I seen the face of Hawaii. Damn it. I know you can't read this. This is from Constitutional Stacker. He just got back. I told him, I said, live in 5, show up. He said, at a bar arguing. So that motherfucker's going to miss some live stream because he's at a bar arguing. Yeah, no, it's a different world over there, and nothing I wanted to do. I wanted nothing to do with it. I made a phone call. I actually stayed over there. It was a month. The company was there for 3 weeks, but they wanted me to stay. The Hawaiians wanted me to stay, the Pearson brothers, because they kind of like, their culture over there is different. You're an uncle or a cousin. If you're an uncle or a cousin, you're in. If you're Hallie or something else, yeah, you're not in. So I'm an uncle and a cousin. My uncle owns the Ironworkers Union. It doesn't mean we're family. It means I was taken into their family. They accepted me in as a family member, and his grandsons call me uncle. So I call him uncle because I'm now part of their family. And if you research Hawaiian mentality back in Vietnam era, every Hawaiian on their military records, it had PI written on it. That meant political influence. That's why they never, unless they asked or volunteered, they never got in a position of danger because of the PI, political influence, because we didn't understand their culture, and everyone was everyone's uncle or cousin. And that's what they called themselves. So if someone of influence in an island, he was always your uncle or your cousin. And that's how they get extra favor. It's a racist thing, in my opinion. Sorry about that. It's a little rant. I mean, I know Hawaii's cool. I just saw a different part of Hawaii because like I said, they wanted me to take over running the Ironworkers. When you do that, it's a different world. We do things. It's a family business over there, and they're corrupt, and they got their hands in a lot of shit, and they wanted me to take over that, and I was like, no. Like I said, the company went back after 3 weeks. They kept me for another week, and the Hawaiians paid for me to stay above and beyond the contracted amount. They paid for my living and my food and my salary for an extra week just because they were trying to talk me into taking over. And at the end, I said, I got to go. Made my phone call, and within 4 hours, I was on a plane, and I fuck out that island. And I'm not going back. No, yeah, it's a beautiful island. There's other islands just as beautiful, and they're not as dangerous. And what I mean by dangerous is anytime you want to move somewhere and it costs you 2 to 3 times more to move away, yeah, that's prison. Because then you become homeless in Hawaii because you couldn't afford the $40,000 it took to move your ass out and all your shit. Or you just got a $5,000 airplane ticket, moved yourself out, left all your shit, in which case that's where the bad stuff happens. But anyhow, let's get off that. I'd never go to, I'm not going, they're not getting any more of my money. And actually they never got my money. I took their money when I was there. Pretty much, wealth, unless you're not with the in crowd, then everyone's like, if I were to ever go back to Oahu, I'd introduce myself as the Pearsons, Neil Pearson. And they'd go, oh, uncle. Yeah, what's up, cousin? And I said, uncle. Hey, uncle, what's up, man? Poko'ola. Poko'ola. It's Hawaiian for weed. I was so far in. Third day I was there, they were bringing me Poko'ola. Because I didn't know anybody. So, I was like, hey, I smoke weed, motherfuckers. Bring it. Where's it at? I'll pay for it. Bring it. And they start bringing me weed. Here, Neil. Some weed. Or Poko'ola. Well, I don't give a fuck who's for them. I don't care. Next president better get. And everyone has a crystal ball. Study religion a little better. And you'll understand what's going to happen and what's happening. Diego Garcia, that's where my green suit comes from, brah. I got Finn. I got 2 mechanics suits, the full green suits, the weatherized ones from Diego Garcia. That little fucking island in the ocean. Fucking friend of mine was a mechanic out there for 2 years. They gave him, he shipped them to me. He's like, fuck, these are the best things ever, because he knew I was an iron worker. And like, you go in the summertime in June, you go to San Francisco and you're wearing fucking winter clothes and carrying more with you because you're going 1,000 foot up in the air. And it doesn't matter if it's June and it's 100 degrees. Where I was going, it was like Diego Garcia. There's nothing to stop the wind because you're the first building up above all the rest. And you catch all the water, all the fucking humidity. Man, I got snowed on in the summertime in San Francisco. That's so fucking high up in there. Hey, what's up, ATM? Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Hey, we're up to 6 people now. Holy camole. My cats are acting weird. Yeah, you know, look at history. Look at Nero. Look at all those weird ass motherfuckers in charge and the shit they did and how they did it, and who got blamed and what the heck happened, and then find out 1,000 years later the truth. History's repeating, bro. It's yeah, everything's intentional. We live in a manufactured world, not of our control, of someone else's control, for fiat and the gain thereof. And they've got a real good fucking charge of it, because there's a lot of dumbasses out there that don't take responsibility seriously, the life that they lead and the rules they have to follow to live that life that they lead. And they get complacent in simplistic bullshit and this fiat currency shit and a certain amount of money to make them feel good. And they give away rights and liberties as long as they stay in their comfort zone. It's all bullshit. 50 to 100 year game, baby. Learn the game and overcome it. Everybody knows ATM. He's a cool motherfucker. I don't know if you know him or not. ATM, do you know him? There you go. Simple and to the point. Make sure to be kind, helpful, and grateful. And buy some silver and platinum. Platinum will blow your mind within 2 years. Yeah, it was kind of fun down in Santa Cruz. I might borrow someone's surfboard and go back down there to that area I showed you guys that little video of, because it's nice small waves. Long line, but yeah. I've been smoking weed long enough. I can smoke weed on a surfboard to keep the shit. I can keep my lighter and my weed dry on a surfboard. I'm that damn good. Not that good of a surfer, but a good of a smoker on a surfboard. No, people don't hate platinum here. Finn has some platinum. Wealth of Nations has some platinum. ATM has some platinum. Mike Herrera has some platinum. Don't say you don't have any platinum. Leave me in my happy place. Everybody has platinum. Everybody should have platinum. If you know what if you only knew, you would be collecting platinum. If you only knew. But that's okay. My channel's going to explode. And one day, the shit starts going up. It's going to happen soon, too. Because from the best of my uneducated, dumbass perspective and research, the suppression of the platinum price, which has historically never been seen on any chart up to as long as it's been charted until this happened, was when South Africa joined BRICS. They started losing money. I've done several reports. that validate my theory that we are in an economic war with BRICS, and the linchpin to BRICS' future success for their personal endeavors is South Africa, and we're bankrupting the fuck out of them. And I just heard there's a possible. What the fuck? God, you think I would remember this? There's gonna be a platinum group metal discovery here in the next year here on this planet. And I wouldn't doubt it being in Argentina, because I've been reading a lot on Argentina. And when I saw it and read that article, it said about a possible discovery of a platinum group metals vein. I believe I was researching shit in Argentina at the time, but don't quote me on that. But I do recall that they had someone leaked that they might have discovered a precious group, platinum group's metal vein. And I believe it was in Argentina. Pretty sure it was in Argentina. Which would be badass. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You see what Ralphie said about the name, the meaning, Jewish Hebrew meaning of Malay? Malay, actually, excuse me. And you know, oddly enough, my best friend from Pensacola, Florida, is a retired lawyer. I've known him for like 41 years. His name's Steve Malay. Melie. Or EI, excuse me. Malay. Steve Malay. He's Italian. His father was Joe Malay. They pronounce it Malay. It might be IE, not EI. I got to check into that. Because they call it Melie. I think it is IE, not EI. Huh. Because they're Italian. And maybe Javier. Quite possible. Germans and Italians all fucking fled down that way after World War II. Anyhow, if you look at what's happening in the world and understand religions, no, it doesn't, Nickel. What it means is he's gonna succeed at changing things, because that's the time in history. Bottom line. It has nothing to do with economics, has nothing to do with any of that shit. But yet it does have to do with economics, because people that understand what will happen because of time and cyclical events, they're going to run the world, because they understand where the money's going to go, because of liberalism's dying. All that's going to go away in the next 5 years. We're going back to it's cyclical. It's all cyclical. We just need, when we go back to a conservative America, we need to push harder for conservative values. So the next time this happens, they'll have to take away what we got back, so we won't go further down the rabbit hole that we did this time. That's all I got to say. And if you want to understand, learn history. Learn religions. Not one religion, not two. Learn religions. Everything's cyclical. And when you put it all together in this freaking globe of a fucking, what are those things called? Those pictures you put together, little pieces, picture box things. There's so many pieces that all fit together for you to figure it out, that none of us are ever going to be intelligent enough to figure it out. It's going to take a group of people to, I don't know. All I know is I got my plan, and I'm going to work towards that. And I think I'm going to be successful at it, and I'm going to create new markets and not take anyone else's market. I'm gonna do cool shit. Hey, what's up, Pete? Freemasons has a lot to do with it. Freemasons goes back to the Templars, which goes back. There's a lot of after the Templars, and what was it? 1107, 1112, 1113, somewhere around there, where the French and the Pope betrayed them and started killing them and shit like that. They went to Spain and started the Knights Templars. No, the Knights Hospitallers. The Hospitallers, Knights, the Saint something Knights Hospitallers, and they were all Templars. They just converted over to Hospitallers, is what they were called. And about 90% of their wealth disappeared. The same thing happened to Cleopatra and Mark Antony. If you understand the history of that, and not just the history, but the wars that happened and their deaths and their wealth, and more importantly, the history of after their death, when Caesar went down to Egypt to collect the booty, it wasn't there. Neither was their son, Cleopatra and Mark Antony's son. So there's something there too. Yeah, Knights Templars. No, Knights Hospitallers. Let me check that out. Yeah, okay. The Order of Knights of the Hospitallers of St. John of Jerusalem, commonly known as the Knights Hospitallers, was a medieval and early modern Catholic military. And that's how the Templars converted over those guys to stay alive, the ones that didn't flee. Hey, C40. Holy shit. 8 people here. I'm glad we're all having fun on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Happy 420. It's 420 somewhere. Hey, do we count my 7 cats and my 2 dogs? That'll make almost 20 of us. ATM. She's watching. Faithfully watching. You can see the glint of her eyeballs as she's looking down here. Where are the others? God, I'm going to be quiet. I'm glad they're not in the room harassing me right now. I had them in this room harassing me all daggone day. Pete, don't forget about your bees. Oh, did you see that thing I put out today? Pete, you got to go. Okay, let me go. I'm going to get this. This is about bees. And I am going to. Here we go. There's a lot more to that story. If at the beginning where I show who gives the story, if you guys research that, it goes a lot more in depth. I just don't like long videos when I do my videos because the attention span of most people isn't that they don't keep that interest for that long. But wow, I mean, I knew about it. I didn't know about the bee part of it because I was in the bees so long. And the mayor, oddly enough, of our town, of Vallejo, he's a friend of mine. He was my old landlord. And he, to this day, is convinced that I have PTSD. And I was with bees for 6 years. I haven't really spoke with him in about 7 years. So I was into bees when I was staying, when he was my landlord. And it did do a lot to help me with anger issues that I had. And it wasn't anger issues. It was I don't know what it was, it could have been PTSD. I don't know. I dealt with it myself, and the bees helped, apparently. And because during the time I was working with bees, man, it was cool. Laser Lopper, hey, how's it going? Lazy Lopper, excuse me. Yeah, Pete, man, working with bees. Oh my goodness gracious, dude. And if you check out, I think I might send you that video. It's a 6-minute video on Facebook of my mobile apiary, me dealing with bees, standing right in front of the 4 hives, no safety equipment, just my little beanie and my glasses, and I was sitting there talking, and I was in front of the bees, and they were going all around me. It's because I understood the language of the bees, and I came up with a whole new system of beekeeping. And my buddy James, who I was telling you about, actually saw me wrangle, for lack of a better word, a swarm of bees, and I kept them from swarming away when we did transfer, because we moved. Long story, we moved their house, the mobile apiary, like a foot. You're not supposed to move it more than 6 inches, and they started to swarm away because they couldn't get the scent of the queen, or the pheromones, which floats in the air. So I took a big old thing of cardboard and was like swashing the air, getting the queen's pheromones smell in the air, so the bees initialized where their queen was and where the entrance of the hive was, and they actually, I stopped them from swarming in a time that my buddies have witnessed to it. But hey, Alan, how's it going? But yeah, I actually wrangled a hive of bees, which was kind of cool. But in that video, a 6-minute video on Facebook, I sent it. I think I might have sent it to you, Pete. It just shows me working with my new hive system and the mobile setup. But it ties in with that video link I put up, because they talk about bees and how the bees use the sound to make that the shape of their comb. The sound of their wings determines the shape of the comb, is what they were getting at. And that part of it was interesting as hell. I have already known about the frequency stuff and the sound making different patterns, but that part of it was next level interesting crap to me. Right? Well, they're not going to go anywhere. They're there and they're happy. Just keep an eye out, because they will grow and they will swarm. Come springtime, they will swarm. You will have, depending on how happy they are, they might swarm 2 times during this beginning of spring and probably towards the beginning of fall. So keep an eye out for that, Pete. Lazy Loper. Okay, right on. Yeah, I'm a master beekeeper. I actually can teach beekeeping classes. And that right there is, if you have any kind of garden or anything like that, you need bees. Bottom line, you need bees for tomatoes. You need crops, all kinds of things. Here, I live in the city. I've propagated. That's why I'm interested in my neighbors' yards, because you need more than one person in a block to increase the floral of the trees and the stuff that's growing and everything else, to help the livelihood of the bees. That's why when you see videos and I show all the rosemary, that is such a food source for bees. I'll walk out some days and it's cool. I'll walk out and it'll sound like a transmission line, a high power transmission line, because there'll be like 500 bees along two houses of rosemary, and it's just cool to hear. I used to take I used to be a professional photographer. I took lots of pictures of bees as well. What are you talking about, ATM? You saw the passing of the queen in your backyard? Apparently, I have a cat racetrack running through my bedroom. They're running around like crazy. I, 'cause, 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 ' Okay, right on. Pete. I don't really care for eggplants. I grew some of those. Personally, I didn't grow any like bell pepper type stuff. I grew a red pepper. I guess it's a Mexican style of red pepper. You can dry them out and they kind of curl up in the red. I'm letting them actually dry up on the plant. As soon as they get to the drying point where they fall off on their own, I'm just collecting them. It's the first time I grew them. I never knew. I never had any. Someone gave me the plant, so I grew it. I really don't. Haven't eaten a damn one of them. Okay, ATM. The way that works, uh, there's no. Okay, the hive will only create a queen, and they choose from the brood. They give them this. It's a royal jelly. They harvest it mostly in Brazilian bee farms. It's called a royal jelly. Uh, the hive is the truest form of democracy because they pick which of the brood they're going to feed the royal jelly to create a new queen. They will only do that if there's a problem with the hive or a problem with the old queen, or there's too many of them in the hive and they know they got to leave. They create a new queen. The old queen will fly away and take a couple people with her, and the new queen will stay. The new queen will fly away, take a lot of the hive with her. So there's lots of scenarios that happen. Yeah, there's lots of scenarios, but it's not. Let me get back here. When one swarm passes their queen to a new swarm of bees, that's not at all how it works. Bees are democratic. They create a queen, and those that voted for that queen, when that queen leaves the hive, will go with her, and that's a swarm. The old queen usually stays at the hive. If the old queen is kicked out of the hive, then that's because there's a problem with her management of the hive, and they probably have some sort of a mold problem or a mildew problem or a moth infestation, which moths will kill a fucking hive in a heartbeat. You'll open it up, you'll see like the first three inner frames filled with like a spidery looking, nasty smelling shit. It's moths. And once they affect the hive, the whole hive's dead. And in that case, the old queen will, I don't know, actually, they'll probably fucking fly off and let her die. I'm not exactly sure what happens when I seen a hive like that I came across. I didn't give a fuck about the hive. I knew it was dead, so I didn't keep up with it. That's another thing about that video that I posted, and I'm going to post it again. They're talking about certain sound frequencies on that video right there. They're talking about certain sound frequencies, and they show it. They've got a little little glass thing. They stick the fucking cancer cells on. You look at it from underneath the microscope. Right now, I'm stoned, and I forgot the word. I know what it's called. It's a little lens. It's a little. But anyhow, and they show on the video a frequency of sound they use, and it's leukemia cells. And these leukemia cells start exploding, and nothing else happens around them. Just they use. Oh man, it's freaking awesome. You guys need to watch that video. And like I said, when you watch the video, I point out who's making that video. Look at that shit, because it's like a 20-minute long video of some kick ass shit they show. I'm actually surprised. I just saw a couple of mushrooms in my yard as I was cleaning up today. I love seeing mushrooms grow. That means you got a great microalgae network in your soil, which means you got living soil, which means you can grow anything. So if you can't grow anything, work your soil, enrich your soil, and you'll be able to grow, because you shouldn't have to work at growing. Life happens. We just plant the seed. It should happen. You should just give it water. That's how simple it is. The way to make it that simple is to grow your soil and have a healthy soil and a a fungi fiber microalgae network within the soil, and you'll never have to worry about anything. Just water, and very little of that. It was, Pete, man. It amazed the crap out of me when I saw that. As I'd love it. I got a friend who's in Southern California near you. He's gone through prostate cancer and he's using radiation. I'm like, fuck, man, I got another friend committing suicide because that's what doctors, smart people, are saying. Ooh, let's use radiation because that way we can kill about that much of your fucking body. And oh, you'll live for a little bit, but then you can take medication and pay us till you die. Fucking sick. What you need to try and do is you need to try and get the living organisms in the deeper soil, a foot or deeper. And what I do is I'll dig a hole, and you can do it with anything. I can throw food scraps down there. I can throw grass clippings. And this is one thing I've done. If you're looking for an isolated area that you will know you're going to grow, it takes 2 years. It takes 2 years. It's some of the best shit you'll ever grow on. You mow your yard, you save the grass clippings. You dig up a hole about 2 foot by 3 foot. Take all your grass clippings, throw them in there, cover that hole back up. It's going to depress over time. You just keep filling it up. And what happens the first year, if you grow anything, it'll kill it because of the chemistry of what's going on. The second year, if you grow something there, you'll never have to fertilize it. That's how the soil life works. And once you figure that out, you'll never buy chemicals. You'll never do shit. You don't have to. We're sold on that as an idea of marketing and a way to take our money to do stuff that we did 200 years ago, 100 years ago without chemicals. It's that simple. Learn about plants. When I grow my cannabis sativas, I'll grow a tomato and a canis lily. I'll add azospirillum and micros to the root systems of all three of them, plant them, and what happens is they create a microalgae fungi network that they share resources. The canis lily absorbs from the air one chemical, a whole bunch of it. The tomato absorbs from there one chemical, a whole bunch of it. The cannabis absorbs one chemical out of the air, all three different chemicals. But because they're hooked up to the root systems, like it's a plant farmer's market, for lack of a better description, they share those extra chemicals with each other. Hey, I'll give you some extra nitrogen if you give me some extra potassium. And they share the chemicals that they naturally get out of the air. So all you got to do is add water. Nothing else. And then when you get more advanced than that, after your growing season's over, plant over winter mustard or fava bean, because both of them add nitrodes to the soil, which are little round BBs of pure nitrogen from the air. So what you have done is you have pulled a Monsanto and you've created nitrogen, a chemical they've banned us from creating. You can make by growing it, over winter cropping it. So that way when you plant the next year, your three plants that are all symbiotic to each other in the same family of plant, you will have enriched nitrogen soil that they all have. So why are you buying chemicals? And your plants will be better and taste better. Just take the time to grow your soil. Sorry for my rant. Let me catch back up with chat. There's also ATM says, do you know if there's a male and female plant? There's also a male and female avocado tree. Because the avocado tree, the 40-footer my neighbor has in the backyard, it gets fertilized from the 40-footer my neighbor has across the street because they're male and female. And it just so happens the one that's needed the pollen to go this way is downwind, so it's perfect setup. Let's see, wealth of nation. Oh, well, Lazy's got some great advice for a healthier you without wanting to get any strikes from YouTube or saying anything. Her comments are very Good. Check them out. I love this. I love this. You guys are sharing information. That's awesome. Yeah, and it saves you. It saves you from dumping fees too. If you have a larger operations and you allow it to build up rather than recycle, renew, reuse. Pete, I already know you're going in the right direction. That's why we're friends. I tell you what, Alan, when you do tomatoes, buy some Azos and Microsporidium. They come in different bags, separate. They're not chemicals; they're fungi. And when you grow your tomatoes, grow a canis lily and add the Azosporidium and Micros, and I bet you'll have a more rewarding tomato crop, and it'll probably last longer, and you'll use less water. Tomato, you're right on. I actually have what are they called? They're called boar's tooth tomato. The gentleman that created that lineage is at the Salona Fairgrounds Farmers Fair. I still want to grow a purple sweet potato because every year I've gone to the farmers annual gathering at the fairgrounds. They got like first place. They got the big 4,000-pound pumpkins and stuff like that, and all the first place winners are set up. I always look for a purple sweet potato, and there's never one. So I figure if I grow a purple sweet potato, and there are purple sweet potatoes, if I grow a purple sweet potato, because there aren't any others entered in the competition, I'll obviously win first place. See, so first place isn't always you're the best. It means you figured out a way to get first. So I'm going to do that one day and get a farmer's reward for growing the largest and the best purple sweet potato just because no one else did. It's going to be, it's amazing if you learn the rules. See what I'm talking about, Pete? Actually, I know I do a lot of dog and cat cans. So because of that, I have a larger waste going out. But I hear there's going to be a shortage. So I'm actually got those big green trash bags, not trash bags, yard bags. And I am, here we go. Introduction of Buddy. I'm saving the cans. So I'm hoping one day that they'll come in use and they'll be like, hey, if you trade in 4 cans, we'll give you a full can. I don't know. All I know is my new friends on my left side. What's up, big guy? As long as he doesn't start attacking my ear, he can stay up there. Like I said, and I don't know what I was doing. I was doing some yard work. It was either picking up the cat shit outside or picking up the dog. I was picking up the dog shit out back, and I noticed a couple mushrooms coming out of the ground. And if you ever see the videos in my backyard, it looks like crap. There's nothing around there. Of course, I had 4 dogs. Now I have 2, and so I never tried to grow anything. I realized, I did try and grow peppermint, and I got a lot of peppermint growing in the backyard because it kills fleas. It deters fleas. So I grow a lot of peppermint in my dog's yard, but it is the dog's yard and there's nothing growing in there. I'm laughing because this tickles. There's nothing growing in the backyard, not hardly any weeds or anything. So when a mushroom shows up, because I do add compost to, I add food scraps and whatnot to different areas that I shovel up and put in the ground because I want to keep the ground living. So I keep feeding it, but I don't grow anything. But when I do grow something, it grows. I have a grapefruit tree. I tried cutting it up because it had some sort of disease, and also it held a lot of rats. And I tried cutting it down, but because the soil's so good, It's coming back. I got like 40 or 50 grapefruit right now on it, but it got rid of the disease, so I cut the disease part out. So I'm letting it grow back. So it's kind of cool to have a grapefruit tree in right by your back door, and then of course a fig tree also. And I'm going to move the orange tree in the back also. I got an orange tree in the front yard. It's still kind of small. It's about 10 foot tall. I'm going to move it to the backyard so that way all the fruit trees are in the backyard. See, Nickel? You can train a cat. I can train this guy to do anything I want him to do. How? That's his revenge for me fucking with him. Bite my earlobe. And that's it. Wealth, compost everything, and then add that compost back to the ground. Our Recology actually has started making compost and bagging it, and they're limiting it everyone to. Oh, that's nice. They're limiting everyone to 2 bags a week of fresh compost that you can add to your soil. It's all mulched up and ready to add to your soil. There's a picture of Pete the Sasquatch's mulch. No, but yeah, it's hard to find a purple one, Pete. That's why every year when I go there, I'm like, if I find a purple one, I'll have the largest purple sweet potato in the competition because it'll be the only one in the competition. So therefore, by default, I'll be number one, have the largest one. Even though it won't be the largest one. It's interesting how things work. They don't work the way you think they work. Oh, I imagine they do love the leaves. Yeah, things don't always work. Sometimes, majority of the time, they work the way you think they work. But a big part of the time, they don't work the way you think they work. It's because you don't question. You really don't catch that it's not working the way you think it should work. And when you start questioning, and you're like, holy fuck, now I know, so I can't claim ignorance, and I got to do something about it. And that's how you build grassroots efforts to change. Again, the racetrack of cats is going on. Dixie's coming up late, trying to, like a true lioness, is going to pick up the one that was left behind. And it's always the little white one or this one. But this one's safe right now because he's up here on my shoulders, and Dixie won't come up here and attack him if he's on my shoulders. You can tell they're playing over there right now. This one's clinging right now because he's looking so hard back that way. You taking off? I'll talk to you later, ATM. Thank you for showing up, my brother. Sorry for getting late to your comment, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving and be blessed. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. It's always the best option. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact. Yeah, just do what you can, Pete, man. Do what you can, brother. No, Wealth, it will not. Right now, I got a 101-degree heater right there, just warming up. Oh, it caught my finger. You caught my finger? Did you catch my finger? Because I wasn't paying attention. It's hard being faster than a cat. And you'll always be happy if you have cats. He is warm. I gave him a bath today. He loved it. Well, he didn't, but he's going to. He's going to learn to love it. He actually wanted to get out, but he did allow me to give him a bath. Can you see? Where are they? I don't know if you can see them right there. That's his claw marks. No, they never were given baths as babies to learn to like them, is what it is. And it's hard to teach an older cat to like a bath because, well, you see what happened here. Just imagine me trying to take Gandalf or Dixie, a bigger cat, or this little fucker and his brother. So if you teach them young to enjoy baths or get baths and not like, sorry, big guy, I didn't mean to freak you out. Then your cat will, and that's what I'm training these guys to. Every week I give them a bath, whether they need it or not. Huh? You get a bath. Is that your buddy out there? You want to get your buddy? You want to get your buddy? See, all I need now is to get a collar, stick little notes in there, and teach them to go to neighbors' houses and drop off notes. Be spy cats. Dun, dun, dun. You like that? You want to be a spy cat? You want to be a spy cat? Junior spy cat. 001 and a half. They're hard little fuckers to catch if they don't want to be caught, too. And most of my other cats don't like my smoke. Like a message pigeon, but a message kitty. Message kitty. See how many other people go live stream and have a cat on their shoulders. You'll have parrots. You'll have dogs jumping. Cute kitties. Come on, guys. I got over 2,800 subscribers this morning, which is awesome. Now, for the chickens, do you give them a dust bath, or do you let them give them a water bath? Because I know they like dust baths. Uh-oh. Well, go ahead, take care of your babies. You got to take care of your babies. I'll be buying some of that dirt and feed my dogs here probably Monday when the bank's open. Put some money in the bank to make an online order for it. This guy's getting too comfortable on my shoulders. He's going to fall. He's going to turn around and he's going to scrape all the way down. There we go. Thank you. Regain your balance. Yeah, I fed my babies earlier today. Also, like I said, these blankets right here were $5. I got like 4 of them. And I've got like trampoline beds for the dogs. And I put all 4 of the blankets on the trampoline. And they got them like all pushed aside to where they can like lay in it, and 3/4 of their body is totally covered on all sides by the blankie, and they're inside a box style structure, a big one, so they stay nice and warm over these cold nights. No direct wind, and like 3/4 covered in blankets on all sides, because they make like a nest for themselves and walk around and flatten little parts of it, and then lay down. And because I have so many blankets, they're puffed up when they plop down the middle part of them, and the other part's puffed up and covers them. I'm gonna I wanted to get a couple more today because I wanted to put more blankets out there, but the place was closed. So tomorrow I'll probably buy 4 more blankets, 2 for each of the dogs, just to make sure that they'll be warm all in the winter. By the way, his brother showed up right here. And that's his brother. And Harley's down there, and he's looking at Harley, who just ran outside because he's using my bedroom as a racetrack. And these 2 guys are using me as a pit stop. Alan, you take care. Happy Thanksgiving to you, my brother. You guys are funny. Well, I am glad everyone's had a great time this evening. Uh, it's been an hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here because this guy wants to join the racetrack. I think he's had enough of the pit stop. And this guy's just joined the pit stop. The two brothers. Hey, up here. Look up here. Constitutional. Holy cow. This is why I wanted you here. Hold on a second, Constitutional. Only you are going to get this. Can you hear that? Can you hear that, Constitutional? That song? You know what that song is? If you got, can you guys hear this song? It's a good song, huh, Constitutional? You told me not to say anything, brother. I'm not saying a damn thing. I figured how else to be an asshole to you. Little inside joke between me and Constitutional right now. I'm sure he'll let you guys know in his own time. But I had to not say something. And I did it in a way Constitutional only you and I know about it, bro. That's right. Now you're getting it. See, he didn't even get my humor until just now. I had to explain it to him. Anytime you have to explain something to someone, it's not really humorous. That's why I wanted you here, Constitutional. That was especially for you. I had it set up. I was like, how the hell can I do what he told me not to do and still not do what he told me not to do? And that's how. Oh, hey, I got Harley. Harley decided to join. What's up, Harley? He's a good boy, too. His nickname's Trouble. I'll have the crayon set up for when you get here and I'll write it out for you. And there's Gandalf. Gandalf! You gotta come up here, Gandy. I'm getting visited by everyone. So we got Harley, Gandalf, Dixie. Only two I don't have is Ginger and Shadow. Ginger's on top of the ladder right now. She ain't leaving. Yes, yes. Do not eat the crayons. No matter how many bottles you have. I think we'll go down to this little restaurant here on the waterfront. I've been there before. Right on. You'll make it. How was the argument? Was it entertaining? That's why I don't drink. This is all that happens at bars. I get in arguments with people. Yeah. 6 1 half dozen another. I'll take you to this restaurant down on the waterfront when you come over. I kind of like it. very much, and logic will move you forward. Emotion make you feel better. Yeah, separation. I feel Spocky a lot. From Star Trek. May the force be with you. Nope, that's not the wrong one. Live long and prosper. Hold on, wait. Nanu, fly, be free. I bet you didn't see that one coming. Whoever puts fucking Mork and Mindy with fucking a Vulcan. Now I got fucking Pinball Wizard stuck in my head. Thanks, Constitutional. See, Dixie never jumps up on my lap, but she's down here now. Yeah. Man. Yeah, if it's not your calling, don't bother. And most people who want to teach are faced with people that don't want to learn. It's the life of hard knocks. First class is dumbass 101. Then, no offense, you end up with this. A fucked up nail because of a 5-pound beater. Used to be all black and shit. Now the nail's almost grown back. As you can tell, it's not at the end grown back totally. It's taken 3-4 months. That's the problem, dude. You got to understand when some people want to be told lies. And if that's the life you want to live, go for it. That's why I'm single. I'm a little too blatantly honest. Like if they ask, "Oh, does this dress make me fat?" No, it's not the dress. doesn't bode well for a relationship. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, someone asked me, "Hey, does the dress make me look fat?" No, it's not the dress. Oh, well, yeah, it is, man. It's like, come on. Reality is a much better place to live in when you want to be with someone else. Because living in a delusional world doesn't go very far. And the law basically gives everything to the other sex after 5 years. So you have everything to lose. They have everything to gain. All they got to do is pull you into their reality and you are. Ain't that right? Can you see the one? Dun dun dun. Look at that little fucking right there. Oh no, I'm a goblin. Oh, rated R movie star. Yeah, that's usually the best thing to do. Yeah, having an understanding of what is it? Everyone's world is separate from everyone else's. You go do your world, I'm gonna go do mine. See you at dinner time. Wealth is relative. Yeah, exactly. It's totally relative. If you are fucking stuck on a mountain from a plane wreck, wealth is that motherfucker who's got whatever it is that'll keep you alive that night, make a fire, keep you warm, whatever. Now, once you get back to society, instantly it changes. It's totally how it is. Hey, Pete, I got some help for you, brother. And I carry them on me in every pair of my jeans. That's right, little Warren. Yeah. What did you say, honey? Sound deprivation increases your hearing. I've tried that experiment on myself. Yeah, knowledge is wealth. Knowledge is power, so it's definitely wealth. Pretty much, man. A lot of us are, I hope a lot of us are in that position, constitutional. Yeah, I already achieved one goal that I set for myself, which was going to the Silver Symposium, making the contacts I made, increasing my channels, visibility to the right people. Doesn't matter about the amount of people, the right people. One day everyone will figure that out. So my next step that I'm working towards right now is to make it back down to Northwest Florida, Southeast Alabama, and build my lightning crystal box. After that is to pay off my patent. I should have all of that done by summertime. Even in this economic shithole of a time, which has taken it 2 years longer than it should to have accomplished all three of those goals. But the trade that I chose, whatever. I'm still working towards it. That's why I'm still in this part of my dynasty and not my palace, which I will have. I was looking at the land the other day. I was like, give me a year. I'll have it some age. Or one better. Dude, the patent cost me $12,750, of which I owe $9,000. Ha ha ha! Sorry, guys, I'm playing with the shit. Yeah, see, well, that check I showed you for 28 hours, that was 28 hours in 2-month time period. Work's not that good. I do make good money when it works good because I'm working more, but right now I'm in hold mode, survival mode till the next shutdown, pretty much. Our union, our local, runs off of refinery shutdowns. Every 2 years, we have 5 refineries in the Bay Area. Every 2 years, by law, they're forced to do maintenance, which is about a 2-month turnaround. So that's 10 months every 2 years. If you want to work it and make the grade, you go there, you can do 712s for about 2 months, pull in about $30,000, and take 6 months of unemployment, do it all over again. Yeah, I can't be bought, bro. Yeah. I got a goal. If someone wants to join in on the journey, doing their separate thing, or joining up with me and doing my thing, but not getting sidetracked. That's the biggest thing. Not letting anything sidetrack me. I've been sidetracked way too long. And this last round, and started in 2020, isn't really my doings, which really freaking sucks, but you know, it's a sad day when you give me too much time to research. As I turn shit around on things, you know. And I'll turn this around. My next move, I'm going to Florida with a lightning box, crystal box. I think I'm gonna start a YouTube channel off of that, and have the Fulgurite and have lightning crystal artwork, which has never been before created at the right time in history, where all the rich people will be looking to store value, and they value art. And mine will be the first time in history, so I'm hoping those two correlate into megabucks. And then I spoke with Pete about my catamaran thing, and I'm going to talk with Mobile, Alabama, about using part of their port system, about creating my catamaran system. And I will building my housing system while I'm doing that. There's one other thing I got going on. Oh yeah, my bees. I gotta put about $20,000 into a trailer and make a finished product of my my mobile apiary. And then actually I got to do more than one, because it's the style of business that I'll have to make the product, give it away to the right person, have them work it, keep the numbers on it, show its success rate, show the numbers of the success rate, and I'll have to probably make 3 or 4 of them and have people do that to gain an interest in people's to self-help. Because my mobile apiary, you could probably make $50,000 to $80,000 a year working it as a small business. Probably more than that, but I'm always conservative with numbers. I'm sure smarter people than me could find out ways to even more benefit. Hey, I'm an immigrant, motherfucker. Respect me, like I'm an immigrant, first generation American, motherfucker. I blow people's mind when I tell them that. Oh wow, he's tripping out, Gandalf. Gandalf is going down there. Gandalf ran away and tripped the little guy out. Did he trip you out? Did he trip you out? He tripped you out. He did. Why did he trip you out? See, and I'm training this guy for me to hold him. And Nickel's probably still not here. I'm training this guy to let me hold him like this. See? And he's purring. Get them when they're young. You can train a cat, man. I'm telling you. I couldn't do that with the larger cats I've trained, but that one I trained. Yeah. Those days are long gone for me, but I've been on the, let me say, yeah, about 2 years. I was on the stripper pole, shall we say. And as with everything, I went to the top, got the best of the best, and then ran away. Dude, it's game, bro. Everything's a game, especially when you're dealing with other people. Yeah, gain your money before you hook up with anyone. You didn't like me putting you down? You want to come back up? Okay. Yeah, that's my problem too. I think I'm an alpha of sigmas. As weird as that sounds. Mm-hmm. Yeah, as weird as that sounds. What? You got something on your eye. There you go. Yeah. Well, see, once I get down to LA or down south, Southern California in a month or so, 2 months maybe, hook up with Pete, getting the rendering of my catamaran design. Hopefully, I can interest him more into that process and get it going. Because I would very much love to have the paperwork part of that thing going. Because that basically the whole catamaran, solar powered catamaran design thing I have, it's a paperwork thing. It's either a sketch or a virtual walkthrough on the computer, which is rather cheap comparatively to building it. Building it would cost a couple million. Building it to sell it to someone, a couple thousand, if that. If you know someone who can actually do the computer part of it, it's cheaper than that. And wind, and with the new engine system for a generator, because they use a biodiesel generator. Come on up here. I know you want to come up here. They use biodiesel generator, and that causes a carbon issue right now, and they're trying to lower carbon emissions. So if you change the style of generator, no art collector, you're not late. If you change the style of generator, they use a diesel generator. If you use a hydrogen biodiesel generator, you're using 2/3 less diesel, so you're using less of a carbon footprint. And if you add the wind, the two little windmills, the new style windmill they have, you far surpass any competitors' models that they have and products they have out now. So that would make the catamaran dealership #1 in the world, American made in America. It's coming that time again, so I think that'll be a successful thing as well. All right, I'll talk to you later. You take care, Constitutional. Be safe. I need to put these guys to bed because this one's sleeping here and this one's bothering me. So I'm going to lock these guys up in their bedroom. Right on. Ah. I ain't gonna be bothered by those gentlemen. I got them locked up in their prison, their bedroom. Dude, you don't have to come here, man. I appreciate you showing up. You got to live your life. That's what's more important. And it sounds like volunteering, you're helping others, and that's more important than bullshitting with me online. So don't apologize for doing something better than bullshitting with me online, bro. You are making change at a grassroots level if you're volunteering. So that's a lot better than talking to me online and other people here online. And that's a good thing. Well, that's cool. I appreciate it. Hopefully everyone does. Ginger's starting to come into the room since I put the babies away. I'm surprised I don't have more babies on the bed. I have the electric blanket on because, again, I washed the little one, gave him a bath. So I made sure he has something warm. Warm. So, what do you guys have planned for the weekend? The winter weekend. You saw my winter weekend down in Santa Cruz. It wasn't a weekend, but you saw the weather. Obviously, there's people surfing still, so it's not that bad. It's not that of a. I'm not out snowboarding with people or whatever. I imagine that's fun too. And I imagine you get hot at doing it too, just like probably water skiing. But there's I don't know. I don't like the snow. I like the warmth. The warmth is better, baby. For me, anyhow. I like warm stuff. Warm sports, surfing. Even though you can surf in cold water too. Ain't no way I'm hell I'm surfing up here. This water's too cold. Although a great thing when I went to Hawaii, they had the big surf competition on the North Shore, and one of the retired ironworkers has a house on the North Shore, and there was no fucking parking for miles. Well, not miles, but for a long ways. So we just went to the ironworker's house. He was a retired business agent. So we just went to his house, got through the private gate, parked there, fucking walked down to the beach where he was. It was kind of fun. Kind of got the rural treatment. And the best part about that I liked about Hawaii was the little roach coaches and the setups they had right along the fucking beach, man. Right along the fucking water. The health department came, regulate them, so you know you were getting good shit. I wasn't in the water. I was surrounded by it, but I wasn't in it. And you should actually learn how to swim. It's a self-defense measure and a survival measure. At least tread water. What sucks for me is I don't float. I have to constantly keep my arms going like this to float like normal people can float because I don't have that much body fat. I mostly have muscle and it weighs more, so I sink. So I always have floaties around. If I go over water traveling by plane on my carry-on, that's different. We have those. We actually have in San Francisco years ago. I'm not talking this decade. They had a whole alleyway filled up with like 8 vendors, and they actually put down fake lawn grass along the whole thing and then parked up on it. It was a cool little setup until then they changed mayors. Mayor got greedy, wanted more money, and then they had to boycott and the whole legal shit. And it all went to hell because of greed. I know I like the locals. We have a Greek fast food place, not fast food place, a roach coach is what we call them on the job site. Total Greek food. Quit that. Yeah. Uh-oh, my 2 girls are in here. Mischief is coming. Ginger and Dixie are in the house. There's Jin. Jin with engine. Yeah, kitty cats and puppy dogs. I'm into all animals, man. Animals are badass. Iguanas are cool. Lizards. Lizards are badass. Monkeys can be cool. I mean, all kinds of birds. Hell, ghosts. If you're into ghosts, ghosts can be fun, especially come Halloween. Or if you're a member of the Addams family, ghosts could be very entertaining at that point in time. So you can't discount ghosts. Just saying. So what are you guys up to this evening? Any other discussions you'd like to talk about? Any new research on space mining for minerals? Or oh yeah, I did have something to say, and this is obvious as hell. I've been talking about SMR, and this one gentleman got back to me and said, Neil, yeah, you're right about Rolls-Royce. They're up 150%. I was like, yeah, kind of used to being right. And the reason why is because it's obvious to me when they turned out the nuclear aircraft carriers, those are what's called SMRs, already approved and being used by our military. The next step is civilian use. Duh. So it's quite, and the nuclear submarines, obviously, SMR, small modular reactor. How many nuclear submarines have overheated, and small modular reactors have been proven to be the safest form of green energy, cheapest and most productive. End of story. Now is a time in history. Things are changing. Invest appropriately. That's all I got to say. Make wise investments now for future. Yes. Thank you, Pete. Pete, you didn't see my other. Oh, here you go, Hart. I did a live stream about SMRs, about the United Kingdom has contracted with Rolls-Royce again to have a delivery of an SMR by 2028. The reason they want the SMR is so they can add it to the moon base NASA plans on completing and using operational by 2032 for the mining of resources. They're not going for gold or silver. Just saying, guys. I mean, that's two countries. Space mining. I'm telling you. Yes, it is, Pete. Yes, it is. That's what I'm saying. Invest now. Guy asked that spoke to me. He was like, and again, I can't take advantage of these things. I tell you guys, I pray that you have the money to be able to take advantage of them, or at least research them, see if you want to. But Rolls-Royce is up significantly, and they're going to stay up. Even during the crash, they'll go down, but they'll pop right the fuck back up because they're the future of energy. One of the main branches that a major part of the economies of the world will use. There's going to be other resources and other energy sources being used. Solar, wind, and hydrogen. Nuclear will be a main one. It's not the only one. I'm not saying it's the only one. It is a main player in the future of power. All right, Lazy. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. The blueprint is invest in future opportunities. The future opportunities are in energy and minerals needed. The minerals needed are platinum that I know of, and the energy source will be nuclear and hydrogen and hybrid hydrogen. So take advantage. Right now, BRICS is at economic war with America, so we're sinking South Africa. We're doing that for multiple reasons. If you understand the history of South Africa, you can understand why they're being assaulted economically so hard, and no one gives a fuck that they're dying. But you'd have to know the history of South Africa over the past 50 years to understand that. You'd also have to understand the cycles that are coming into play and how they come into play, and why they're allowed to, things are allowed to happen to certain things, certain countries now. It's because of the cycles that are happening, and they're more clear and more defined as time goes on. The earlier you see them, the more you can take advantage of them. Kind of, sort of, I guess that's why I get along with Ninja, because we kind of sort of see the same thing, and we're hella early. I'm actually probably a little more early than he is, but whatever. I can't take advantage of them yet. I've already completed, as I said, step 1 that I wanted to complete. Step 2, I'm working on. Once I get step 2, step 3 will be done by summertime. Hopefully I'll have all that done. And then I have other things going that'll hopefully help financially by the end of next year. Drop off a chunk of change, along with other things. So, onward and upward. You keep striving to achieve yourself. You learn, you grow every day, and you make moves that will ultimately help you achieve your growth expectation while learning at the same time. And every day's a win. If you follow through, every day till you get to the end game is a win. So why not do it? You have to give up some of the crazy, stupid shit that you usually do, but oh yeah, no, underwater exploration of minerals is not going to happen. Not the way they're doing it or wanted to do it. You have to go old school, and that's going to cost more, and they're probably not going to do it. It's off base. I did a video quite a while ago. I think it was 17 companies got together because it's really expensive to operate machinery 3 miles deep, 2 miles deep, and unbeknownst waters with unknown things and whatnot. And these 17, I think it was 17 companies got together. I named the video underwater mining or some shit like that. And they stated basically they started to do their mining of underwater. It was like 3 or 4 hours, and then they got shut down permanently. Because in those short period of time that they started to do the exploration for the mining, they didn't have anything set up. This was exploratory, and they needed 17 companies to get together because it was such a large and extensive project. And then they got down there and they discovered no less than 5,000 new life forms that needed to be studied, not destroyed. You're not mining. Sorry. Bye-bye. And that's one thing they don't report to you. Over the past year or so, they've been studying all these new species. And anytime that happens, they always come up with new drugs and new this and new that. So expect it. And if you studied about mining and the future of mining, you'd know this too. So researching things, even if they're stupid at the time, isn't stupid. You always learn something new every day. Try to, at least one. Hopefully 50 or 60. So yeah, that kind of shuts down underwater. Because if you think it's hard to explore and mine for ores and minerals above ground, it's about 100 times harder underwater. And then you get into the legalities of environmental shit. And in the water, It doesn't spread the same. It stays contained in areas and always will be. So it's a lot harder. So yeah, not going to happen. Now, if they get a tunneling machine and go through rock and go underneath the ocean, yeah, that could happen. But they got to be smart enough to think about that, and I don't think they have yet, which is stupid because I have, and whatever. I don't know. It might be a problem of having fucking 200, 300 miles of fucking tunnels. Might be an issue, but it shouldn't be. If you're in the right bedrock, hell, they fucking dug between France and England 3 tunnels, and they had problems with one because the tectonic plates had shifted, and they dug through. And I saw the documentary as they dug through one of the ones to the south. Dug the tunnel, no problem. The tunnel to the north, as they were going down, they ran across a fissure of the stone that they were drilling through, and when the driller got to it, it got shifted because it was no longer in the hard substance that it was drilling. It was designed to drill hard substances. It was in sand that actually moved and drained and filled cavities and shit. So they had lots of issues, and then they overcame those issues and then continued drilling through them. So you can do underwater, long-term underwater, under earth drilling if you want to, if you have the aspirations to do so. All the technology is there, all the knowledge is there. It's just have the willpower to do it. Right on. Hey, if you're in the city or out of the city, start and learn and grow and keep going. End game should always be buy 100 acres for yourself. Because with 100 acres, 30 acres of farm, 30 acres of woods, 30 acres of pasture, 10 acres of yard and house. And if you have 30 acres of pasture, you can have a couple cows, 3, 4 cows, and break them up by acre, and you'll never run out of fresh pasture for them. With 30 acres of woods, you'll always have a wood source of dead or fallen limbs that you can use and gather throughout the year for the winter to burn for fireplaces. And with 30 acres of farmland, break it up 15 to 15 acres of orchard of 5 or 6 different types of fruit and nut trees, and 15 acres of planted farmable substance. And in that 10 acres of your house, have a 3-acre pond. Boom, 100 acres. You have a self-sustained, organized living land, and if you take care of it properly, it'll always take care of itself. In the pond, you can have add fish to it so you can swim and fish out of it, and then you'll always have fresh fruit and vegetables and nuts and livestock. Because in the 30 acres of pasture, you could also do you could have horses, a couple horses, donkeys, sheep, pigs, lots of different sources of meat. And anytime you buy in an area where there's about 100 acres, there's usually people who have 500 or 600 acres, and there's usually wildlife. I've been looking around, and every place I've looked at in the southeast, there's deer and turkey in the area, along with whatever you're going to have if you decide to buy land. That's why I suggest that the end game should be to get some land. Yeah, with the cigarette, yeah, I do. I gave that up a long time ago. If you have money, I'd wait for the crash and look at areas that will be most advantageous as a growth opportunity. And yes, California would be one of those. I'm looking for basically Alabama, because I have plans for the Mobile area. My lightning crystal box is going to be in the county, in Baldwin County. My catamaran business I want in Mobile County, which is right beside it. The only two counties that Alabama has on the Gulf Coast. I have plans for both those counties, and I want to live in the county, Covington County, which is like 2 counties north. So I'm away from the hurricanes and the flood and all that shit. Hurricane water damage, flood damage, hurricane insurance, all those extra insurances you have to have, I won't have to have. But it's close enough within an hour and a half, 2-hour drive to both locations to keep operating the companies I want to start. So I'm looking in that area for those reasons. I'd also like to own land in northern Alabama because they've got some really good mountainous style land, 100 plus acres, 100 to 500 acres. And it's kind of cheap as well, depending on what you consider cheap. It's inexpensive compared to other states when you're looking at between 1 to 400 acres. And I've seen some land up there that have nice rocks, nice mountainous, rocky, and it has streams on them with nice 15 to 20 foot waterfalls because of all the rocks on the property. And you can also harvest rocks and sell rocks. Believe it or not, there's a business for that. Depends on the style of rock. You got to look at the land and know a lot before you get into it to where you can take the most advantage of the land that you're buying for, profit margin. And of course, when you go into doing stuff like moving rocks, you want to get heavier equipment. So then you go to military auctions and start buying your heavy equipment, the heavy trucks, the deuce and a halves, your heavy forklifts, your truck crane combos and stuff like that, because they're going to be a couple years old and one hell of the best maintained objects out there to buy. And quite frankly, that'd be a good thing to do if you want to start saving up some cash right now, because when the economic crash, if it does come, as they say it's going to, for which I don't know, I'm not an expert at any of the economic shit, nor do I claim to be, or financial shit. But if it does come, that would be the best time to have an extra $5,000 or $10,000 cash, and then go to a military auction and see how much you can pick up cheap as shit. And you'll look at the maintenance log and say, holy shit, what do you mean they just changed oil last week? They put on new tires 3 months ago? They just redid the engines, the upper end of the engine and the heads? Well, yeah, they do that stuff because for training, they have to maintain as part of the regimen of their training. And that just means you get a well-maintained vehicle when you buy it. So the best time to buy it would be during economic downtime, because a lot of people won't be there buying. And if you're ready there to buy when no one else is ready to buy, well, fuck, everyone knows the outcome of that. You're the winner chicken dinner. All right, guys, I'm going to cut this one off. It's been a little over 2 hours. I do appreciate. Oh yeah, military auctions all the time. You can get computers, pallet loads of computers, tools. Fuck, every base has an auction. What are you doing back there? Get out of there. Get out. Every base has an auction. Every year or two, they have an auction. And you need to check it out. Dude, you can get all kinds. And then look at United Rental and all these heavy equipment rentals. Every 2 years, they auction off their equipment because for insurance reasons and for the economic growth reasons, they have to buy it every 2 years. It was made profitable for their business to every 2 years buy new equipment rather than maintain the old equipment. And they sell on auction the old equipment. So look at that as well. All right, guys, I'm going to take off. Thank each and every one of you. God bless you. Be kind, helpful, grateful. Have a happy, and I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. And I shall talk to you definitely by Sunday. And until then, peace out, people.